It was supposed to be a routine congressional oversight hearing. The bright lights in the Capitol Hill chamber glared down on polished wood desks, the faint hum of cameras filled the air, and the audience settled into an expectant silence. Judge Amy Coney Barrett, dressed in her signature dark blazer with a discreet gold brooch, sat with an air of composure. She had testified before committees before, but this one felt different. The witness list had been stacked. Several legal scholars, activists, and political figures were set to speak. But the most anticipated speaker of the day was Representative Jasmine Crockett, the Texas Democrat known for her razor-sharp cross-examinations and an almost surgical ability to cut through political performances. Her arrival had already stirred the media, and rumor had it she had a file on Barrett, one that could shift the entire narrative. The official topic was judicial ethics and transparency, particularly concerning Supreme Court justices and outside business dealings. Barrett's opening statement was careful and methodical. She emphasized her commitment to impartiality, denied any conflicts of interest, and even threw in a self-deprecating joke about still not fully understanding TikTok. The crowd chuckled, easing the tension. But Crockett wasn't there to chuckle. When it was her turn, she leaned forward, her microphone catching the steely edge in her voice. "Greater than, Judge Barrett," Crockett began, "you've repeatedly claimed you have no external financial arrangements that might influence your rulings. Is that correct?" Barrett smiled politely. "That's correct, Representative Crockett." Crockett tapped a stack of documents. "Then you won't mind if we discuss a certain, private advisory agreement, from 2022, the one involving Halberd Industries." The air in the chamber shifted. Barrett's smile faltered just slightly. Cameras zoomed in. "Greater than, I'm not familiar with what you're referring to," Barrett replied, voice tight. But Crockett didn't blink. She reached into the folder and held up a letter on official letterhead, her voice cutting through the room. "Greater than, this is an internal Halberd Industries memo, signed by you, acknowledging a $250,000 annual consulting arrangement, coincidentally finalized right before your favorable opinion in Halberd vs. Carter. Do you want to explain that to the American people?" Gasps rippled through the crowd. The hearing moderator shifted uncomfortably. Barrett's hand tightened on the desk, knuckles pale. "Greater than, that's a mischaracterization," Barrett said sharply. "I have no ongoing arrangement with any private company. Whatever this is," Crockett cut in, her tone razor sharp, "it's your signature. It's your date. And it's your ruling that benefited Halberd by over $300 million. Barrett's voice rose unexpectedly. "I'm telling you, Representative, this is being taken wildly out of context. I have the right to." The moderator's gavel banged, calling for order. But the damage was done. News outlets were already tweeting screenshots of the memo. Clips of Barrett's rising voice were trending. In the back row, a group of reporters exchanged knowing looks. This was going to explode far beyond the hearing room. Within minutes of the exchange, #BarrettMemo was the top trending hashtag on social media. Cable news networks cut into their programming to replay the confrontation on a loop. The hearing resumed, but Barrett's composure had visibly cracked. Her responses to other committee members were short, almost curt. When Crockett's turn for follow-up came around, she didn't waste a second. "Greater than, Judge Barrett, earlier you said this document was out of context. I'd like you to explain the context now. Was it for legal consultation? Was it a personal arrangement? Or was it, as it appears, a direct conflict of interest?" Barrett leaned toward the microphone, her voice tight but shaking. "You're making unfounded accusations. You're trying to smear me because you don't like my judicial philosophy." Crockett tilted her head slightly, the faintest trace of a smirk appearing. "Judge, this isn't about philosophy. This is about money. Big money. And it's about trust. The American people expect their highest court to be above suspicion. Right now, you are not above suspicion." Barrett's cheeks flushed. "You think you're the arbiter of ethics here. You think your theatrics prove anything. You're nothing but a political opportunist." The gavel slammed again, but Barrett didn't stop. She turned fully toward Crockett, voice rising above the commotion. "Greater than, I will not sit here and be interrogated like a criminal. I have dedicated my life to the law, and I will not let some grandstanding politician drag my name through the mud." The room erupted. Some in the audience shouted in support, others in protest. Crockett sat calmly, letting Barrett's outburst hang in the air. When the noise died down, Crockett leaned in for the kill. "Judge Barrett, I'm submitting this document, along with supporting bank transfer records, into the official record. Whether you like it or not, the public will see it. And they can decide for themselves whether you've lived up to the oath you swore." The blow landed. Barrett's jaw tightened. She whispered something to her aide, who scribbled furiously on a legal pad. The rest of the hearing limped forward, but Barrett's earlier confidence was gone. By the next morning, every major newspaper carried the headline in some form: "Barrett Ethics Bombshell Rocks Supreme Court." Opinion pieces flooded in, calls for an investigation echoed from Capitol Hill, and watchdog groups began filing formal complaints. Jasmine Crockett didn't gloat publicly. She simply released a short statement: "Accountability is not partisan. The truth speaks for itself." But behind closed doors, allies congratulated her on what many were calling one of the most decisive takedowns in congressional hearing history. As for Barrett, she spent the following week avoiding cameras, her legal team crafting careful denials. But the damage was irreversible. The clip of her going red-faced and shouting at Crockett had already cemented itself in the public's memory. It was supposed to be a routine hearing. Instead, it became the day a sitting Supreme Court justice went nuts on live TV, and the whole nation saw it happen.